This episode of the Capital G Show has been sponsored and paid by the Mega Man X lore. It's a funny video that's about 90 seconds long about the Mega Man X franchise. I actually like the video a lot. If you like Mega Man 2, you should check it out. The link is in the description. What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, DN Dual Commentary. My opponent's rating is 1447, and I am 1198, so I'm just a hair under 1200. This is the absolute up-to-date version of my Bujin deck. This duel just happened like an hour and a half ago, literally. I haven't even edited or watched this duel at all. You see that I MST for Yamato, MST, and Crane. Obviously, I'm going to take the Yamato because if I took Crane, I wouldn't have anything to use it with. And Yamato is the card you always want to see first turn, so I'm just going to summon Yamato. I'm going to play my Kaiser Coliseum, and then I'm just going to set my MST. I thought about setting the Kaiser Coliseum as a bluff, but I was like, it's not really worth the risk. I end phase, and then I'm going to activate Yamato's effect. I'm going to dump Hair into the graveyard. I don't even ask him for a response because even if he has Valor, Yamato can just wait out Valor. So, yeah, I pass turn. This is one of those hands where if I'm playing against Fire Fist, I basically just auto-win. Like, Bujin just shits on Fire Fist, to be honest. He plays Upstart Goblin. I gain 1,000 life points, so I really don't know what he's playing. He could be playing pretty much anything at this point, but I feel really confident. Like, my Kaiser Coliseum plus Yamato that you have to kill twice, but you can't special summon, like, it's amazing. Now you see he summons Pike, he pitches Turge to the graveyard, and he's just going to search out another Mermail card. I think he's going to go for Mermail Gundy, which I'm perfectly fine with. Now if he just sets one card in his back row, I'm going to MST it. But when he sets two, I'm automatically thinking of Abyss Spear, a card that I absolutely hate. Now, my draw of Kaiser Coliseum wasn't very good. The reason that I summoned Turtle instead of summoning Bear and trying to get the Tenki was I want to keep one monster on board, and I felt like I could run over his monsters easily and get my direct damage in. Even though Bear would have gotten me a free Tenki, I would have had to go into either King Tiger or the other guy, the guy that protects himself and mills 5 cards, the other Bujin. And I'm just like, I like Susanoo O so much more, you know what I mean? Because not only can I put Turtle into the graveyard, which gives Susanoo O 2 layers of protection, but Susanoo O replaces itself the second you activate his effect. So it's really, really good. Like, it's my favorite Xi in the entire extra deck, basically. I think it's the best one, too. Now, summoning against 2 back row may have seemed like a big risk, but it really wasn't. Mermail doesn't run a ton of removal, you know what I mean? I thought maybe he could have had Torrential Tribute and Abyss Spear. You see, like, I went immediately to my MST when I went to end phase because I thought he was going to try and trigger Abyss Spear, and I was just going to MST it. So he plays Raigeki Break, and he targets my Kaiser Coliseum. Now, how fucking bad is it that I've got 2 Kaiser Coliseum in hand, and then he uses the freaking Raigeki Break on my Kaiser Coliseum? So you could pretty much say that if I would have played the second one, which I probably should have, I'd probably just win the game like right now. But anyways, I'm gonna be so salty when I get like OTK'd and I have I have 2 Kaiser Coliseums in my hand. So he pitches Gundy to the graveyard. Gundy is going to get Pike. Obviously, he's going to play Pike because, let's see, yeah, he plays Pike. Pike is going to discard Mermail Lende. Pike is going to get him a Marksman. So obviously, he's going to probably try to be using, he's going to be discarding something else this turn. Now, maybe he's not super familiar with the Bujin deck, but everything they set can be like chained every face down. I mean, I play the Royal Decree version, which Royal Decree is so fucking real. Anyways, you see that he plays Turge, he pitches Marksman. Marksman tries to target my back row. I hit his I chain my MST against his Reckless Greed. Now the thing about this is, and why I'm in a good position, even though he chained his Reckless Greed and you know, he forced me into using my MST prematurely, he is already normal summoned. So Reckless Greed is a card where you want to use it during your draw phase. You know, I basically forced his Reckless Greed at a time where he didn't want to use it. So I still feel very good about my position. Now, if I can get this Susanoo O to live through this turn, I'm going to win because he will not be able to get around Kaiser Coliseum plus Susanoo O because Susanoo O is instantly going to get me another copy of, or it's going to get me a copy of Crane. Now, the thing about Susanoo O right now is not only can he not kill it, but he cannot target it. So it's going to be difficult for him to get rid of it, considering he's already normal summoned. Like, the only way he can continue his summons right now is if he has stuff like Abysstius or Megalo or Lead or something like that. You know, he has to use special summons to trigger more special summons to try and like exceed summon. You see he goes into Abyss Dweller, which I'm like, crap, he's trying to lock me out of my graveyard effects. And I mean, for the most part, he pretty much succeeds out of that. You know, he activates Dweller's effect, and I'm going to chain Hair to that, you know, trying to get a little bit of protection on my Susanoo. I think maybe I should have just held that, you know what I mean? Because I figured he was just playing me like he had a way of getting around the Hair effect. And you have to remember, one of the problems right now that I'm dealing with is his Abyss Dweller is 2200. It's not 1700. You know what I mean? In the Mermail deck, Abyss Dweller actually can whoop some ass. You know, the 1700 Abyss Dweller, I don't really care about that shit. I just summon Yamato, attack over it. You know, if Mermails can set as many back row cards as they want, I don't respect them. I'm just going to summon and attack anyway. Alright, so you see he summons Abystheus. He's pitching Gundy, which means this could be bad because Gundy's going to trigger and he's going to get another level 4. You know, thank God he didn't have any level 7s in his graveyard. This would just be like really bad. He could like big eye my shit right now and I just auto lose. So let's see what he's going to do. I think he's looking for a card to search first before he uses Gundy. If I had Max C, or if I had what do you call that guy? If I had Effect Veiler right now, this would be brilliant because I'd probably Veiler the Abystheus. Actually, no, I would have Veiler the Abyss Dweller. What the fuck am I thinking? All right, so anyways, he's going to, what is he getting from Gundy? He's looking at his graveyard, and oh yeah, he gets Pike because Pike can pitch another card. And yeah, he doesn't activate its effect, but he activates Aqua Spirit. I'm like, oh my god, they seriously? And you know, the whole deck, basically this whole new Patrick Cobain Mermail deck that everybody, you know, a lot of players have just net decked, which, I mean, this is looking like a textbook net deck. You know, the whole deck is based around rank 4, so the Ophion, it doesn't like auto lose to Ophion anymore because, you know, they have a lot of ways to get the rank 4s, especially when you consider that this card right here, which is a absolute bitch, exists. So, you know, he gets Silent Honor Arcs, and he's just going to take my Susanoo. Now, I don't know why he put it in defense mode. I guess he just didn't want to risk it. So you can see he attacks for 22, and I'm just like, damn, that kind of sucks. I'm not in an awful position because you can see that, you know, I've got my Yamato and I drew Crane. Now you can see at this point I'm not taking any chances. I activate both Kaiser Colosseums just in case one of those cards in his hand is like MST. I'm going to try and attack over the Abyss Dweller. Let's see if he has any response. Maybe he has like a water version of Honest or some shit. He has no response, so it just dies. I actually wish I would have had Mika in that situation, because if I would have had Mikazuki, then I would have been able during the end phase to search out Bujin Carnation. So, you know, I get rid of the Abyss Dweller, so actually, you know, I can use my graveyard again, which is definitely nice in this deck. And in the end phase, I'm just gonna dump a Hair into the graveyard because I want my monster actually living during my next turn. I want my Yamato. So yeah, I'm looking, and I'm like, alright, I'm just gonna dump Hair into the graveyard. I know that I'm probably gonna have to use Hair just to survive this Silent Honor Arc attack, but I mean, it is what it is. Now the thing is, he's under Reckless, so I'm in a great position. It's like, alright, well, you know, at least you can't do any more damage, and he can't summon anything. So you see he tries to push in for damage, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to protect my Yamato. I'm going to eat, what's it called? I'm going to eat 300 damage, but I'm perfectly fine. Now here is where I want to go into either Tiger King or something like that. Tiger King looks really, really good right now because not only is it going to get me a replacement for the Yamato and the bear that I just summoned. So yeah, you can see right there, it gets me a free Tinky, which I'm just going to trigger, and I'm going to search, I think I'm going to search another copy of Yamato. Mika and Yamato work in tandem really, really beautifully. And you can see this is even better. I get the detach, I get the negate Silent Honor's effect, and then, you know, bada bing, bada boom, I can just run his little ass over. So you can see advantage right now is definitely on my side. This guy can't summon any more monsters. and he's still under Reckless Greed, and I have complete field control. Now, I can't necessarily get over his Abystius right now, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, he can't draw and he can't advance the game state. He can't summon anything, so, I mean, all he can do is pass turn. You can see that I got Bujani Crane, so that was definitely good. And this is something that you won't see Bujin players do very often. I've already used both of my hairs. And, Yamato isn't the best right now. Actually, Mika's a lot better because, I need to get over his Abystius. The longer this duel goes, actually, it's probably still in my favor, but I don't want to prolong the duel. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to normal summon, Mika, who is, he's 2K. I'm going to attack over Abystius. I'm going to use Bujani Crane during damage calculation, which gets rid of the Abystius. And during the end phase, Mika's going to replace the Crane with a copy of Bujin Carnation. So I'm perfectly fine with that play. Now, granted, he can summon 2 monsters now because I put 2 monsters on board. But, I mean, at this point, I mean, I basically did what I had to do. There was no way that King Tiger could have gotten over the Abystius. So, I figured I'd just do what I have to do. He's still only drawing to 3 cards. And with those 3 cards, he has to somehow counter my entire board. Not to mention, I still have Bujin Carnation. If he clears my entire board, I can still luck him out with Bujin Carnation. So you see that he just scoops it up. Alright, so the Maxis are immediately coming in. That is pretty much automatic. A lot of times when I go second, I'll side deck out like a single copy of Royal Decree or something like that. I'm siding out. Let's see. I'm looking at my Lances because he only showed me Regeki Break. Like, that was the only card that, that was like the only trap that he used that actually could do anything. A lot of times outside out Honest because Mermail, I mean, they like to just do a lot of dirty stuff. Honest isn't like the greatest against the deck. I mean, I know it works with all the monsters in the deck, but it's not something super effective. I sided the DD Crows in because the whole deck works around Gundy, and I think maybe I might have oversighted here. You know what I mean? I think maybe I should have, like, kept 1 Crow in the side deck and, like, kept the Honest in or kept, like, an Effect Veiler. Now I'm kind of concerned that I might get a hand of, like, all hand traps and have no monsters and just lose. So you can see my opening hand is DD Crow, Kaiser Coliseum, Royal Decree, Maxi, and Bujin Turtle. Now, had that Bujin Turtle been a Bujin Yamato, I'd feel so good. Like, I'd be like, game! Because people don't understand. Royal Decree and Kaiser Coliseum is too strong, son. It's too strong. Especially with having Max C. So if he tries to go over the top on me, I can Max C him and draw like 50 cards. Knowing that, I've got a bunch of Effect Veilers. So, against 3 back row, I don't want to summon my best monster and let it get bottomless. So I summon my Turtle. If Turtle dies, then it can protect my my Mika, you know what I mean? And yeah, I'm just gonna hit him with Kaiser Coliseum. At least he's gonna have to play Honest for a little bit, anyways. He's gonna have to play Honest with only summoning 1 monster at a time. Now you can see he Reckless Greed, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna chain Decree. I feel like if that Decree goes, I'm in a huge beneficial position. It doesn't. He has the MST, which at least I get to keep my Kaiser Coliseum. But if that Royal Decree had negated his Reckless Greed, I probably just would have won there, because when he Reckless Greed randomly like that, that kind of told me I have a really, really shitty hand. You know what I mean? So I felt really good. Not to mention, if the Reckless Greed would have fizzled, I still would have had something like Max C. Now here is where I'm basically put in a tight spot, because he summons Mermaid Bitch and he attacks, and I could Max C him, but that's only going to get me 1 card. And my monster's still going to get run over. So it's like, what's the point? This is where if I had a Yamato, I'd be able to protect Yamato right now. And then I'd probably just, be able to do like some better plays. I'd be able to just like, blow his ass out of the water. So you can see, let's see. He's activating something. I think he's activating Title. I'm looking at his, I'm basically trying to tell him like, hold on, what the heck are you trying to do? You see that he's triggering Title, which I'm going to play Max C on, draw a card. Of course, I drew another Kaiser Coliseum. So if I'm not mistaken, I've drawn Kaiser Coliseum, 5 times in this little bit? I mean, this is ridiculous, right? I drew Tenki, which is a lovely card, unless you're playing against Abyss Gaios, and you can't use Bear's Effect. So, yeah, that's a problem. I wish Bujani Crane would have been a Beast Warrior. Had he been a Beast Warrior, This deck, you know what? Okay, maybe the deck would have been retarded then, but that would have been so fucking nuts. All right, so I'm not in a very good position because I don't have a way of getting around that fucking Abyss Gyos. So you see, I'm gonna activate Tenki. At this point, my best play is to really just search Yamato and at least try and eat up the two negates that guy has. You know what I mean? I wish that I would have opened with Hair instead of Turtle, because he's not gonna target this. You know, how many what's it called? How many targeting cards do Mermail have? You know what I mean? But it is what it is. You see that he negates my what's it called? He negates my Yamato, which actually, now that I look at it, I gotta read Gyos, because if Gyos is just like Baylor, then I should be able to wait out what's it called? I should be able to wait him out. But I think it's for like the full turn or whatever. You can see he runs over my my Yamato. I could have summoned Mika there, but Mika's just gonna die to Abyss Gyos anyway, so it's like, what's the point? He summons Abyss Spike, and then Abyss Spike pitches what's that? Marksman. Marksman targets my face down Kaiser Coliseum, which I'm like, whatever, I don't really care. One Kaiser Coliseum is the same as having 3 of them. It really doesn't matter. I can easily get rid of his Abyss Spike, but the problem is I can't get over this fucking Gyos, and Gyos is just a pain in the ass. Like, even my Bujin Carnation doesn't really help me that much against Gyos, because even if I somehow could get something banished, you know, I can only make Beast Warriors and Beasts with this motherfuckers, and I can't use any of their effects. Like, they're all too big. So you can see he just attacks over it. I'm gonna eat 800 damage, and yeah, I have 2 cards in hand against his 4. You know, now if he wasn't under Reckless, he probably would have just destroyed me by now. You see that I get Hair, which is like totally a turn too late. I would have set that last turn. No, actually, I would have just attacked over. I would have attacked over Pike last turn and actually been able to do something. Now he can draw cards again, and I'm pretty much extra fucked. And it's like, yeah, yeah. So you can see that he plays Pike, and he's trying to summon Abysseus, and I'm like, yeah, you can't summon. Why don't you try reading Kaiser Coliseum? You have to kill this monster on board first, and he puts those cards back in his hand. Nobody ever reads Kaiser Coliseum. They just do shit, and then they're like, all right, whatever. So that goes to the graveyard, so at least I can protect myself for a turn. So please, please, please give me another Tenki or Yamato or a Mika or something. You know what I mean? And I draw a Max C. So I was like, yay. The fuck am I going to do with that? I pass turn, and yeah, I mean, I can't really do anything. Like, I could set DD Crow, I guess. Actually, yeah, that's what I probably should have did. I should have just set DD Crow. That way, he can't summon anything until main phase 2. That's what I like about Kaiser Coliseum. Even if your opponent can run over your monsters, they can't summon until main phase 2. So they can't do any extra damage. So you can see he attacks. You know, I try and bluff him with a Max C. I take 1400. He just gets out Dragoons, and then he just kills me. So, yep, I'm dead. I don't run Battle Fade or any of that jank stuff either. So, yeah, I think maybe I misplayed like a little bit there, but I still feel like he was probably gonna win that game. All right, so you see, I felt like the DD Crows didn't do anything. You see, I opened with DD Crow last game, and it just sat in my hand the entire game. So I'm citing in breakthrough skills. And we're going to see how that goes. I'm going first this game, and yeah, hopefully I open with a pretty good hand. You can see I've got double Max C, double breakthrough skill, Crane, and roll Decree. Awesome, right? Double MST, or excuse me, double Max C, double breakthrough skill. What the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Alright, so he opens with Bike, and I'm like, no response. He, let's see, he's going to pitch Turge. He tries to activate the effect. I accidentally play Roll Decree, which was a mistake. I tried to play, or I meant to play Breakthrough Skill so that he wouldn't search a card. So, yeah. He activates no effect, and I think he's just going to hit me for 1600. Like, if I could just get any Bujin monster, I'd be in a great position. I don't even need a Beast Warrior. Just give me a fucking Hair. Give me something with 1700 attack, just so that he can't run me over with these damn Pikes and, you know, like all these little shitty cards that he runs. If I get a Bujin Beast Warrior type monster, then obviously it's great. Of course, I drew another copy of Roll Decree because, you know, drawing 2 Roll Decrees is like pro, right? Anyways, so yeah, I'm just going to summon Bujani Crane. I'm going to attack. Even if it's face down as a trap, he already knows I have Decree. So I'm going to set double Decree because he knows I have a Decree, which means if you know someone has a Decree, it's as good as not having a Decree because they'll just do everything they can to play around it. He tries to activate, he summons Pike, he pitches Dragoons. This time, once again, I'm going to play Breakthrough Skill, and I'm going to negate his Pike, so he's still going to be searching for Dragoons, but I mean it's not like he's getting a billion cards like usual. I mean, a lot of times they can just get tons and tons of stuff. He summons, or he gets Marksman. I guess he's trying to like just push in for damage with it, you know what I mean, like if I don't summon anything. But I'm like, okay, well obviously I have a Royal Decree, which you know I can activate. This was the card that I needed. I needed a 1700 monster. Because you have to look at it this way. Not only could I kill his monster, I've got 2 Max Cs. I want him to try special summoning. You know, the second he tries to special summon, I'm gonna, you know, be able to actually do some good shit. Now, considering I have double Decree, I have no fear of his back row. I give no fucks on what they are. He plays Torrential Tribute, I chain Royal Decree. He chains MST, I chain Royal Decree. I give no fucks. So I'm going to attack with both monsters. Let's see. So he's going to eat 33, and I am immediately going to go into Susono O. And I am going to search out, I believe, a Yamato. I'm going to detach my turtle. Going to get the Yamato. And I know that I still have double Max C to protect. And he's like, why did you keep in Decree, you know, against Mermail? And I'm like, okay, because it shits on your deck. I mean, you run Abyss Spear, you run Reckless, you cited Divine Wrath, and you also showed me Raigeki Break. So it's like, what the fuck? Like, you showed me a whole bunch of traps. So why would I not keep my Royal Decrees sided in, especially if I'm going first? Like, if you're going first, you always keep your Royal Decrees sided in. The only time you think about taking your Decrees out is when you're going second. So considering I don't feel threatened in the least by his field or by what he could potentially do, I go for Yamato. I don't go for Crane because he already can't target my Susono O. The second he tries to special summon something, I'm going to Max C him so fucking hard, his teeth are just going to grind together. So and he can't use traps. I really don't see a way that he could win this game because once you get fields like this with Bujins, you just, like, you win. Like, that's the reason I love this deck. You see that he goes Pike, he pitches Marksman, which does nothing. It gets him Abyss Gundy, and it's like, okay, even if you have Megalo at this point, I'm just going to Max C and I'm going to draw like 50,000 cards. Now, me drawing the Kaiser Coliseum was just like, now I'm really, really, really going to win. So I activate Susono O's effect. I'm going to get a Crane. Susono O is going to attack over Pike. And now he can only summon one monster, and I still have double Max C and Crane. So, yeah, you can't use traps. You can't use anything. This is where Bujins just becomes, like, it becomes near the best deck of the format. You know, and you see that basically he scoops it up. When you get builds like this, your opponent can't do much. I mean, you can't special summon. You can't target my monster. You can't summon more than one card. You can't use traps. Like, you really can't do anything against the deck. So, thank you guys for watching as always, and take care.